Hello, this is Gabe Randall from Gabe's Memory Journey, and I just last week, so I wrote this down. It's May 15th, 2025. I started learning about memory palaces, and after that, I got hooked. I was like, wait, there's so many things that you can do. So, what made me originally look it up? I love reading books and I love knowledge, and I just couldn't remember stuff that I would read. I would read books and I just couldn't remember anything from it. So what I started doing, I started looking up, well, what do people normally do? Um, and so I've also been learning Spanish, and one of the things that I've been doing is tracking my hours. So with this, I haven't been as structured as my Spanish, but I have about 30 hours at this point. Been uh, it's been like a week, and I have 30 hours of watching videos and explanations of how memory palaces work, um, why they're useful, what information to put into the memory palaces, um, and a lot of this has been to lay foundation for my memory palace and for my journey. I want to get started on the right foot. And so one of the things that I looked up was the major number system because uh, I'm wanting to memorize chapters of the Bible. There's a video out there with Ron White and Larry Dinkins, um, where he goes through and he's memorized an outline from the 1,189 chapters in the Bible. I want to do that too. That seems really cool. Um, and so yeah, I've just been watching a bunch of videos. Ron White, I feel like he has the best beginner videos to help you wrap your mind around what a memory palace is, how it works. Um, and then the first videos that I saw were from Anthony and Metivier, and it's harder to understand. He's more abstract, and since this was a new this was a whole brand new world for me, and so it didn't make as much sense until a little later on once I got more of like a foundation of like what is a memory palace in the first place. Um, because Anthony's he's very flexible. He's like it's just kind of like what you make it. You just imagine that and associate it with something. That doesn't really help you when you're first getting started off. But going back now, I've watched a bunch of his videos and they make a lot more sense now that I like have a better idea of what a memory palace is. Um, one of the things that helped me, it was a video. I have it written down. It was a grocery list video by Nelson Dellis, I think. I can't read my own handwriting. Um, and he he had like 10 items on this grocery list, and to make them memorable, he used his house as a memory palace. And right at the front door, he had a banana that he picked up from the floor, and he started eating the banana. He walked over to his kitchen counter where he had olive oil that he poured out. It was in a cup and he poured it out. Then he had coconut oil that he picked up and rubbed into the counter. He had, let's see, it was tomato sauce that he poured into the sink. There might have been something else in the kitchen, but then I remember he goes to the bathroom. He squeezes a lemon, I think, also into the bathroom sink, and then he drops a strawberry in the toilet, I believe, and then he rolls out uh, a thing of paper towels in a different room. So I've only watched this video once, and it's been a week, and obviously I'm probably off about one or two of the things, and I think I might be missing one or two things. Um, but the fact that I just watched the video once and I remember that it just made so much sense. I was like, wait a second, that's how it works. So again, that video is by Nelson Dellis, I believe. Um, and so that's one of the things that got me kicked off. And so I just wanted to document this. I wanted to make it uh, seem. I wanted people to be able to see how achievable it is, if it is achievable. Because I haven't gotten super far into it, but I see fruits of it and see how it could work, and it seems very promising. Um, so what I've been doing so far, I have a journal for memory stuff, um, and the first one of the first things was writing locations that I'm familiar with. So I looked at a few different courses, and I thought about buying something, but I want I'm sure it would go a lot faster if I bought a course and it would walk me through step by step. But part of the journey, or part of the most rewarding thing, is by finding the answers yourself. And so I'm sure I could get it a lot faster if I took a course, but there's something rewarding about the journey, instead of just the getting to the end. So I did take I I got the free PDFs that Anthony Medivier has, and he one of the things he was like, write locations you're familiar with. Um, so I wrote down all of those. Uh, and right now I'm at 30, but I left blank space to so I can keep going as I think of more locations. And uh then he's like come up with 26 memory palace locations. Um and so so like for A, there's a place near me called Allen Pond. B, there's a beach house that I stayed at last year. C is a Chick-fil-A, my local Chick-fil-A. D is my dentist office. So let's see, I'll show. Okay, so at Chick-fil-A, I drew out um, the the different objects that I was going to use as my locations, my loci, and then I wrote underneath it what order those things go in. I know it in my head. Um, then same for my dentist office. It's a location, the place I'm very familiar with, and so I know where these things are. Um, so I wrote those out, and let's see. I There is a date section. I've been writing the dates on most of my things. I must have forgotten to do these. But then I also got started on the major number system. I haven't like written anything down for it yet because I wanted. Oh, my goal is to. And this may be too ambitious. I wanted to have most of a number system down before I do too much memorizing, so that I for that for my different things I would be using the same number system. Um, so I watched again various videos about different number systems, and I thought that major system made the most sense. It's what most of the uh, like masters in this area use. So I did write down, just so for reference. I wrote down the whole system. So the zero is the S and Z, um, and so forth. For those of you who know what it is, and I'm not going to explain it. Um, uh, And then I did write. I have all my places already lined out or outlined, I guess. I just haven't written anything in there yet. Um, and I'm not. I wanted to do a PAO system, person action object system, but I think I'm gonna start basic. I want it to be achievable. I don't want to set. I don't want it to be like I have to have the best, thing right off the bat. Since I don't really know I don't fully know what I'm doing, and so if I keep it easy as I'm starting, then later on, if I decide I need a whole PAO system, then I'll probably expand. Um, let's see. I wrote down a few things that I wanted to say. I want to make sure I said all of them. So I watched and wrote down Anthony Medivier's cave cogs that he likes to use, um, just to make your mnemonic images, images you're using in your head, more uh, more lively in your head and more memorable. Um, I think one of the things with this is that it's really cool, but it is an investment. You can't just like it's not something you're going to immediately have. It does take a little bit, and I'm sure that I am putting more into like a bigger foundation than what I would have to. I could get started right away. Um, but it does require an investment. It requires time to get started, time to learn, time to review. Um, and I want to get started on the right foot. Uh, and so again, I started off saying that I like to read. I want to remember points from the books that I read. So that's one of the things that I hope to be able to achieve with this. And I just wanted to document all of that. Um, I'm sure that I used a bunch of terms that if you're completely new, it does not make any sense. Um, but I am 30 hours into my learning journey, and so I've gone through these different things. I would say the easiest thing to start with is watch that grocery video, the groceries where he's doing the different things. Like, that's Nelson Dellis. He's he just makes it so memorable and uh, so easy to just grasp the like what he's doing and how memory palaces work. Um, See, I think that's all I have for now. I'm documenting the whole thing, so we'll see how it goes, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Adios.